This is a beginner's lesson for using finger picks. If you're used to using a flat pick or just your bare fingers and you want to get used to using finger picks, then that's what this lesson is about. I'm going to assume that you already know your chord shapes, that you can play different chords from one to another very easily. That's not what this is about. I have other lessons on about how to make chords and change quickly. So I'm going to move this camera. Okay, I use Golden Gate thumb pick. I just think they're the best. I use a Dunlap .025 finger pick, which is the heaviest gauge there is. It's all personal, whatever works for you, whatever's comfortable. The picks should be kind of comfortable. I mean, you know, it's not like you're used to wearing them, but the thumb pick, you want it so it's above the thumbnail. So it's kind of higher on your finger. You don't want it at the tip of your finger like that. It's going to fall off. So you want it above the thumbnail, and it's going to be tight and snug so it doesn't fall off. So it will cut off a little of the blood flow to your thumb. Like in between songs, I take the pick off. Jorma Kaukonen told me he has to do it all the time. You know, take the pick off, get some blood flow back in there. So it's common. And so the end of your thumb might turn a little purple, but it shouldn't be so uncomfortable. You can stretch the pick out like this to get a little more flex into it so it fits better for you. I go through about one thumb pick a week because they just get too loose and then they just break. Jorma, the same deal. He goes through 2-3 picks, thumb picks a week because he plays a lot. He's a professional player. You want to shape the metal finger pick to fit your to fit your finger correctly. So if you've got to bend it, whatever you have to do to get it so that it's snug and, you know, but not too uncomfortable. You don't want it so it'll just like fall off, like I'm pulling on this right now. So these metal picks that I use have little holes in them. So you're going to get little indentations in your finger. That's common. Don't worry about that. So the main difference between plectrum or a flat pick, you're going to strum down and up that movement. You're just going to be holding a flat pick. Finger picks, it's different because you're strumming down, downstroke with your thumb, upstroke with your finger. So there's some terminology that we use. A pinch is when you literally pinch the strings. So you're making a chord shape. This happens to be a G chord. And you're pinching from both directions toward the center, towards the 3rd and 4th strings. And you'll get a sound like that. That's different than that sound. Now the whole point of using finger picks is that you can play 2 individual lines, a bass line and a melody line. So there's different exercises that I would suggest you do. I have one already listed for single string runs for Reverend Gary Davis, who was a master. He used index and thumb. And I use this style for probably 90% of what I play. I can use a flat pick if I'm playing rock and roll or bluegrass or something, then I use a flat pick. If I'm playing an artist such as Mississippi John Hurt, I don't use picks because he didn't use picks. So it all depends on the style that you want. But as Reverend Gary Davis said, it saves your fingers by using finger picks. You get more progression, more projection, and it just makes, you know, less wear and tear on your fingers. So there's different things that you can do, but you want to start with your thumb. So any pattern that you want, like this is 6, 4, 5, 4. And those are the names of the strings. 6th string, 4th string, 5th string, 4th string. That's a common pattern. Or you might have just an alternating bass between the 6th and the 4th. So you want to become comfortable with that thumb pick, being able to pick out any string that you want. In general, you're going to be using your thumb pick for the lower 3 or 4 strings. You might go up to higher strings, but for right now, you want to just get comfortable moving that thumb to different strings. And then your index finger, obviously, is going to pick out a melody coming back. So a pinch is like that, both together. And if you just wanted to play a simple chord, there's all kinds of things you can do to make it more musical as far as your right hand, rhythmically. Pinch, strum. This happens to be in 3/4. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So you want to get used to pinching, and you're going to hit more than one string. You're like hitting the first string, but those second and third strings are still going to ring through because you're kind of strumming them. It gives a great sound. I go to a D chord. C chord, pinch, strum, G. So it's no hard or set rule that you have to pinch or strum or whatever. That's up to you to pick what rhythm you want to use, what kind of music you want to do. But I would personally suggest that you pinch and strum. So it's very basic stuff. 3 chords. Pinch. And then just start varying what you do. Depending on the song, whether it's fast or slow, it's in 3/4, 4/4, 6/8, whatever. But you want to be able to get your thumb on any string that you need. So if it's a G chord, that's the root. You're usually going to hit the root of the note of the chord. C chord, that's your root, the 5th string. D chord, 4th string is an open D, and then back to the G. Now it shouldn't be an issue for you to change chords. I'm assuming you already know how to do that. But just getting your thumb to go from the 6th to the 5th to the 4th string for those root notes, that might take, a little time. But once you get it down, then you have it for life. So your thumb is going from 6th string to the 4th to the 5th to the 6th. So if you can get that so you can do that no problem with any chord change, pinching and strumming, then you can start to bring in an alternating bass. Now this is basic stuff for finger picking, but listen how musical that really is. You already are playing like a song right here. So, and you have a different bass line. The 4th string or the 2nd note of your bass note should stand out from the lowest note. So just listen again. Finger picking 101. If you can't do the bass by itself, it's going to be hard for you to probably pinch. So you can practice just that little bass line. But pinching shouldn't be that difficult. So And you can do any chord progression that you want to do. If it was E, A, B, 7th. So usually your bass pattern is going to be between two strings, like the 6th and the 5th, or the 6th and the 4th, or you'll get into that 6, 4, 5, 4. The 6, 4, 5, 4 pattern really opens up a lot of variations and cool things that you can do. So once you're comfortable just like strumming chords with your thumb coming down, then you're going to get into this pinch stuff. So your thumb should move parallel to the string. Parallel down. Your index finger curls right up to your palm of your hand. The movement should be very natural. So if you can kind of see this. So you're not strumming like that. You're just coming across, angled across the string. So your finger, index finger, just kind of curls right back into your hand. Remember, the guitar is a percussion instrument, so you're striking the strings. You can do that with any chord change. Pinch and strum, you're on your way to making music. So here's a G chord, and just listen to all the different, there's like 3 different layers here depending what I do rhythmically with this chord. This is from one of my tunes. Depending what note you pick out and whatever the rhythm is, right there, there's like 3 voices that are going on off of a simple G chord. So just, your progression, it can be very simple chords. What you do with the right hand is what makes it interesting, is what makes it musical. And you don't have to be exact with that. The point is rhythm. Rhythm is the key. Of the 5 parameters of music, rhythm is the most important. Without rhythm, nothing moves through time and space. You won't hear anything. So you want to try to incorporate all 5. Rhythm is one. Color is another one, depending whether you're back here or up here. Dynamic is how loud, how soft. Articulation, is there a hammer on, is there a pull off? And pitch. So what's the chord shape, changing a little note here and there. You want to try to incorporate those 5 parameters from day 1. That's like basic finger picking technique, especially for people who might use their bare fingers and then you want to get into finger picks. So the movement is identical. If I'm playing without picks, the thumb, it's the most amount of flesh you have on your thumb, and it's coming exactly the same movement across the strings. You're grabbing as much string as you can. You're grabbing the string coming up, and it still curls right up to your palm, like that. So whether I'm using picks or not, the movement of the right hand is is identical. With picks, you're just a little bit away from the strings because the picks are like extensions of your thumb and finger. I mean, just like 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch. But the actual movement should be identical. That way you can play different styles. It shouldn't be a problem. Just down and up, and that's pretty much it. And don't get frustrated, just slow and easy.